That, my friends, is the title of this episode. Watch less news, drink more Bill, listen to more red metal. If I could speak, it'd be awesome.
What's up, metalheads? Welcome to another edition of Listen to the Record with our host, Munzi Ricci.
What's up, Munzi?
What's up?
What are you doing?
I'm doing excellent, brother. How are you doing?
I'm sitting in my office. It's 10 after 5. I got some lemonade, got a pack of smokes. I'm wrapping up my day. Life's good, bro.
You living the life, man.
Oh, dude, I'm living large, dude.
Brother, we were talking just a second ago.
Cigarettes. Oh, yeah, dude.
It's
lemonade and cigarettes out of a Guinness glass.
Out of a Guinness. There you go. There you go. We were talking.
So when are you going to fill that up with Guinness? That's my question.
Nah, dude, it's too early. Later tonight, I'll fill it up with some Guinness.
Right on.
We were talking earlier, dude. You were telling me your schedule earlier. You're going to be busy this month.
Yeah, I'm going to be busy through the entire summer. Plus, there was a lot of tour announcements, Lacuna Coil was announced, Ginger was announced, Ministry was announced, Black Label Society was announced, and a handful of others. So, once the fall rolls around, it's just going to be stupid, In
a good way, though.
Oh, we love it that way.
So ready for it. It's been so long. Muncie, who are we talking about today, brother?
All right, so today we're going to talk about the new Flotsam and Jetsam album, Blood in the Water. It's the band's 16th studio record out on AFM Records.
Dude, wow. This band, they've been around, frankly, don't want to say anything bad or anything good. They've been around my entire life. I mean, these guys have been killing it. The first album, Doomsday for the Deceiver, came out. It was like, God, 1985 or something or other. It was like eons ago. And to anybody that really knows, this was like Jason Newsted's band. Yeah. Did he start it or did he join it? I don't know that.
Actually, I don't know if he actually started it or joined it, but he was one of the original members.
Oh, okay.
Like him and AK and, who was it? Kelly and a bunch of other guys. They were like, those were the original members. And Michael Gilbert, the singer, came in shortly after. Because if you remember, Jason Newsted was doing vocals in the very beginning.
Yes. Yeah.
Jason was doing vocals, and then they brought in Michael Gilbert. And, then Jason just played bass, and he was a key driving force when it came to creative, Now, I mean, I'm noticing a lot about a lot of the older school bands, which, I've mentioned on like episodes I've done with you guys before, the older they get, the better they get.
Yeah.
Dee Snider, he's 66 years old, or 67, and he sounds freaking amazing.
Killing it.
Overkill, Bobby Blitz, he sounds amazing. And he's in his 60s, and the stuff they're writing is better than all the earlier stuff that they did.
Right.
So I think it's just coming down to the point where, the older they get, the more refined they get, and they just know the gig a lot better. And they just go in the studio and just make an amazing album. Blood in the Water was really no exception to that. And if you look at the radio charts, I mean, the record went #1 on the charts last week.
Holy shit, dude.
And that was the North American College chart, which was kind of like CMJ.
Mm-hmm.
And this week they were still at #1, because if you stop and you listen to the record, the album itself is completely amazing. They got some like super solid songs on here. Outside of the title track, but Blood in the Water, Cry for the Dead is really good. A Place to Die is really good. Burn the Sky, which was one of the singles, is like super cool. Undone is good. So if you're a Flotsam fan, or you just like old school thrash, this is the actual, this is the record and the band you really want to get into. And ironically, I saw them live on New Year's Eve at the Green Room in Arizona, in Phoenix. Me and my ex-girlfriend at the time flew out and spent New Year's Eve in Phoenix, and Flotsam played at the Green Room, and they kept playing. And about 10 minutes or so after New Year's, You know, Michael's like, oh, I was just informed it's 10 after midnight. Happy New Year. Yeah, so I mean, the guys were just like so into throwing down on stage. They actually forgot that, oh, New Year's passed. We better say Happy New Year, you know?
I think that's a better New Year's, man.
That's pretty metal,
that's the way to do New Year's, brother.
Oh, dude, it was a great. I was there with Chris Canella. You know, if you remember the industrial band N17.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he went to Autumn's End, and then he worked for Fender and Jackson and, you know, ESP and a bunch of gear companies. And, you know, my friend Sandy and her husband and, you know, a few other people. We were all just there, just sitting at the bar getting inebriated. I mean, fuck you. You know?
Muggsy, let me ask you this, because you mentioned, like, you know, you mentioned Dee Snider and you mentioned how these guys are coming out and they're just sounding as amazing as they always have. And there's this resurgence again, as it should be, of the music, right? Do you think it's a direct response to COVID opening up and everybody just being kind of pissed off and needing to get that shit out?
Nah, dude, because if you notice, if you look at the past Overkill records, you know, and even like the past Flotsam records, you know, if you want to look at like the End of Chaos, I mean, that came out, I think, before COVID, you know, even hit.
Yeah.
You know, and then the self-titled and Ugly Noise. I mean, all those records are amazing.
Right. That's true.
You know, and if you look at Overkill, it's the same thing. Like the last 6 or 7 records have been nothing short of absolutely brilliant, you know? And, you know, like you look at Zach from Black Label. I mean, you can never go wrong with Black Label. You can, even Motorhead, every year they put out a record and you got what you expected, a Motorhead record.
100%.
But the record was, if you stop and you look at it, it progressively stepped up as, you know, the guys got older and that their records actually got better.
Yeah.
You know?
Dee Snider, though, dude, Dee Snider is the man. I got to admit, I have a personal reason that I feel so highly about him. He's really the guy that turned me on to metal in a big way, honestly. You know what I mean? So when I heard his voice and I saw him and what he was doing, I was like, oh, wow, this guy, he's the man. You know what I mean? So that's what turned me on to it. Other than that, it was Ronnie James Dio. So for me, those were the two. Dee Snider and Ronnie James Dio. So it's so cool to see Dee still going at his age. You know what I mean? How was that experience, dude? You got to hang out with the guy, at dinner with him.
Did you listen to For the Love of Metal by Dee, the last album?
Mm-hmm.
Did we? Yes.
And I mean, dude, the new record. He's got George Corpse Grinder on it. He's got Jamie Josta. You know, Jamie Josta produced the last 2, and I think that is like an ideal team, you know, an artist who like totally gets thrashcore and a heritage artist like Dee, you know, from back in the 70s and the 80s, and he stops and, you know, you put them both in a room and the chemistry is just perfect.
That's true. That's true. I'm looking forward to that. I saw Dee post about it just recently that he would, I think it was today, that he was getting ready to release the track with the guy from Corpse Grinder. And I'm like,
the George Corpse Grinder track actually goes live tomorrow, the 24th.
Wow.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to hear that, because that seems like it's going to be anything a little bit different than what he's normally going to do. You know.
Yeah, but if you listen to the track, it's you know, it's heavy, but it's not death metal at all.
Right
and
on.
George isn't really doing like, you know, it's, you have to hear it. Once you hear it, you can be like, wow, that's Corpse Grinder. This is amazing. You know.
Love it. Love it. So, back to Flotsam and Jetsam. Have they announced any touring? Because I haven't seen anything.
No, they haven't announced anything yet. I know, like most bands, everybody's working with their agent and their label to try and get on a package deal.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that there's going to be an announcement fairly soon. We're just waiting for the guys to really come up with the right package and whatever it is. They haven't discussed anything with me personally per se, so I don't know. But I'm pretty confident that we're going to see a tour announcement from them guys before the end of the year.
So from a behind the scenes perspective, I don't know if you can talk about this at all, Muggsy, but do you know what's going on with the touring? Everything as far as scheduling and stuff like that?
I didn't hear you. With who?
Do you know what's going on with touring as far as scheduling for most of the bands that you usually work for or work with? Are they actually still having problems with having to cancel?
Not really. I think, I've already been to a handful of shows, and we went to see Nefertaria, that was in Brooklyn, and that was pretty cool. We went to D. Snyder, and the place was packed. Most venues are just, all right, let's open the doors, let people drink, let's get things moving again.
Yeah.
And I think venues, after like sitting idle for a year, they got a lot of catching up to do, and they got back rent and back bills to pay. So I think it's really at the point where, I don't think anybody really cares what the government or politicians are telling them they got to do. People are like, screw you, I'm going out and having a good time. Oh, there's the bar, let's go drink.
I do like hearing that the bars are packing out again and stuff like that. Ralph and I recently went out to a bar, and it was pretty packed in there. I was curious to see, once they started opening things up, how quickly people would start dipping their toes in the water,
Yeah, there's still some people that are a little nervous, and I think they should probably watch less news.
Yeah.
And if they watch less news and they drink more beer and they listen to more metal, things would be a hell of a lot better. But I think, I think by the time the middle of the summer rolls around, it's going to be ridiculous. And dude, you could just tell, like Sunday, I was out and the beach traffic was just insane. It's usually backs up 3 exits down from me, and it was backed up all the way into the Queens border. And it was all beach traffic. And, a couple of my friends were at the beach, and they posted some photos on socials, and you couldn't move on the beach.
Yes, they don't give a shit about that. That's good.
News coming together.
Like, good news is everybody's at the beach. The bad news is everybody's at the fucking beach.
Dude. And obviously, I don't think there were enough police on hand to start writing summonses for drinking beer, because everybody sitting in the sun had a beer in their hand. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful.
It is beautiful. I love the way you put it. Watch less news, drink more beer, and listen to more fucking metal.
That, my friends, is the title of this episode. Watch less news, drink more beer, listen to more metal. If I could speak, it'd be awesome. And the sad thing is this is fucking coffee. I'm sober. Shit.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I was out the last 2 nights, so tonight I'm staying home, and at 8:30, I'm going to be like passed out on my couch.
Yeah, that's iced tea, ladies and gentlemen, not Guinness. But anyways.
Yeah, I hope that's not Guinness. That's a peaked ass Guinness.
Exactly. So, overall, looking back, I've seen Flotsam like umpteen times. I don't know how many, but a lot. I've seen them on most of the early tours back through the late 80s and 90s. And they were just one of those bands that when they came through, regardless of where they were, whether it was L'Amour's or it was in Jersey or anywhere, it was just one of those bands that you just didn't miss. Like, yo, Flotsam's coming, we got to go.
Right.
They never disappointed live. They always got on stage and threw down. And, they always had an aura about them where when they played live or you listen to the album, you knew right away it was Flotsam.
Right.
Gilbert's just like very unmistakable. You're going to listen to it and you'll be like, oh, that's Michael Gilbert. Oh, yeah. Right away. I mean, it's the same thing with Blitz. It's the same thing with Jeff Tate. Yeah, it's the same thing with like Zach. I'm like, is that Zach? I mean, their voices or their guitar playing is very noticeable.
Yeah, unquestionable.
It's so unique.
Yeah, absolutely right. There's that quality. I think most of those legendary bands have some sort of quality where the second it comes on, you just pick up there's something you pick up on that it's immediately them.
You know right away, dude.
Anyway, brother, Flotsam and Jetsam, Blood in the Water. Go get it. Go check them out. The minute you get a chance to see them live, do it, because you may not get that chance again. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like,
they might call up and be like, coronavirus supreme is out. Everybody, this time it attacks your toenails. Everybody cry, scream.
Scream. Yeah, but
scream for me, coronavirus.
Once we have an official tour announcement from the guys, I'll make sure I send you the tour dates.
Right on.
And when they're coming through your area, you go out to the show, you hang out, you have some drinks with the guys. They're a lot of fun to hang out with.
That sounds like a killer night to me. I'll be there if I can. That's for sure. So East Coast, West Coast, wherever you're from, Flotsam and Jetsam, Blood in the Water. Check it out. It is the real deal. These guys have been around for a long time, so they know how to make music, especially heavy metal.
Fuck yes.
Thanks for coming on, Munzie. Once again, our host, Munzie
Thanks for having
Ricci.
me on. I love coming on and doing your show. It's awesome.
We love having you, brother.
Guys.
Listen
we love having you on.
to the motherfucking record. Flotsam and Jetsam, Smoke on the Water, Cody Walker, Ralph Busso, Muncie Ricci, heavy metal, booze, less news. Be good people, and always listen to the motherfucking record. Later.
And more metal.
And more metal. We out.